Hey gang, happy Thursday. I hope you are having a beautifully kick-ass day so far. I am going to give everyone just a couple seconds to pop on per usual for the lives. And my fun question for today is, if you are a tea drinker like I am, what are your favorite teas? And please tag the brands or send me a Amazon link or something, because I am always looking for new teas to drink. I drink a lot of herbal tea, green tea, white tea. I don't do a ton of black tea. It's just a little bit too bitter for me, and caffeine can sometimes make me crazy. So share your favorite teas with me. But if this is our first time meeting virtually, I am Kate. Hello, it is so wonderful to meet you. I am the owner of Clem & Co, as well as 2 other photography businesses. And we are based out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. So you can't tell by my, blown out window behind me with the sun blaring there. But it's winter right now and it's cold. For those of you that do not live in the Midwest that are tuning in from somewhere much warmer and lovelier. Although we have a pretty sunny day right now. So it is a lovely day here in Green Bay. With Clem & Co, we are supporting, I say we because I have a team that works close with me. That's amazing. We work with small businesses and female entrepreneurs who are really growing their online presence, and they want to be seen, they want to be heard, they want to make a difference, and they are making an impact and breaking boundaries in the world. So the way that we do that is through brand photography and newly brand videography. We just launched that service last month as well. And then we also empower them with pricing services, making sure that they are making the money that they want and they deserve. So today I want to share with you one of my most common talks and points of interest for me, which is how to create 90 days of social media images in 4 hours. And I should have actually changed that to say something like how to create 90 days of awesome, impactful, meaningful, authentic content in 4 hours, because we can create 90 days of social media images in 4 minutes by just, going around our house and snapping away with our iPhone. And that doesn't mean that it's going to be relevant or matter. So the intention of this is to teach you how to create 90 days of social media images that are actually going to matter and speak to your ideal client and encourage them to want to follow you and want to work with you. So for those of you that have seen me speak at a couple of retreats, you'll be very familiar with this concept, and this will be a nice refresher for you. But for those of you that have not seen me speak before, the way that we approach brand photography, again, whether that's through a professional photographer or you're doing it yourself, either way, the way that we approach it is looking at the impacts that you want to make in the world, who you work with, and who you are as a person and what your business is. And I say it this way because most of the people that we work with, they are the face of their business. I am the face of my photo businesses along with my team. It's not something like, FedEx, where they're a corporation, they're a business, and we don't necessarily know who the owner is, if that makes sense. So we really approach it from a place of authenticity, knowing one another, making those connections in the world, and that those connections and those human interaction points, that's what encourages people to work with us, and it brings in that repel and attract phenomenon, because the intention also is to really draw in and speak to those people that are meant to work with us, and to repel the people that we don't resonate with and they don't resonate with us. Because when we're working with the people that are our ideal clients, that are just lit up to work with us, and we are so fired up about what they're creating in the world, that is how we truly make impact. So that's the intention behind our approach to your brand photos. Again, whether you're working with a pro, whether you're doing this yourself. So the first question in this creating 90 days of social media images in 4 hours is, where do you want to be 1 year from today? And I'm sure you've heard me ask this before, because I ask this all the time. I ask this in brand consultations. I've shared this on videos before, but truly we want to look at, where do you want to be 1 year from today? Because who you are 1 year from today likely is not the same person that you are right now. It probably will take some sort of an up level and trust in yourself and courage and just really stretching into that next level. So looking at who we get to be with our future lens on, that's such an empowering place to approach our brand photo session from, instead of, here I am in this current state and I am perfect and I am lovely, but I am not necessarily stepping into who I want to be and who I get to be and who I need to be. That's just not going to resonate with our clients and make that level of impact that we get to make in the world. So look at, where do you want to be 1 year from today? And I'm going to link a tool in the comments for you, but we have a whole visual strategy business alignment worksheet that is great for you to work through. It starts with that question, and then it breaks down into some messaging for you to share on social media. And again, let me share too that most of the people that we're working with, and the way that I approach these like knowledge sharing sessions, is for people that are intending to be really present on social media. If somebody just needs a website update or that kind of thing, you're just simply not going to need as in-depth of a photo experience as somebody who is truly present on social media. That's how they reach their potential clients, their current clients, that kind of thing. So just wanted to share that caveat in there. So I will put in the comments afterwards a link to our visual strategy, business messaging alignment worksheet, let you work through that. So once you know where you want to be 1 year from today, think about, what is that messaging that's really going to resonate with your ideal clients that still feels authentic to you? What is your inner truth about you, about your business, that you can share with that ideal client that they're going to be like, wow, I have to work with this person? And this matters because when we're talking about authenticity and drawing those people in, we then get to look at what makes me, me, and what makes my business unique from that authentic place. I know authenticity is such a buzzword, but it's so true, because people can smell somebody who is inauthentic or, it's just not in alignment. They can smell that from a mile away. So when we are just in our power and like, this is who I am, this is what makes me, me, that just resonates. So what is it then that makes you, you? Are you a reader? Are you a mother? Are you a beer lover and foodie and fur mom? I have 4 fur balls that run around this house. In my video just before this, we had a cat in the background just snoozing away. Are you funny? Do you like to be outside? Are you a city girl? What makes you, you? Think about those things, and then think about what makes your business unique. Do you support female entrepreneurs and empowerment? Do you work with third world countries or post-traumatic stress disorder? What makes your business wonderful and lovely and unique from other businesses out there? And once you know those pieces, you can create sort of a content guide. And I will also link to our totally free content grid in the comments too. But that allows you to align what makes you, you, what makes your business unique, those different categories, and you can fill that in then, and you have 25 different talking points by the end of it that you can share on social media, either for captions, posts, that kind of thing. And the reason that those things matter, about if you're a dog person, a cat person, a reader, a mom, female empowerment, that kind of thing, is now you know what types of images and themes to feature in your photo session. That is only going to take you 4 hours to get those 90 days worth of social media contents. So once you know that I'm a dog person, I like to drink beer, I drink coffee, that kind of thing, plan out your half-day session. And what I mean by that is pick your locations. So again, if I were going with the dog, the beer situations, I would find a dog-friendly park in the area. I would partner up with either a local coffee shop or a local brewery, message them ahead of time, say, hey, do you mind if I take some brand photos in your space? I'd be happy to share the photos with you afterwards, tag you in our posts, that kind of thing. But this is just about who I am, and it's really going to help my business. If I were going to a yoga studio, maybe I have a regular yoga class that I attend, and ask the instructor, like, do you mind if I come in? Or ask the instructor for a private lesson. Or maybe you just do yoga by yourself in your home or an outdoor space. So plan out what your locations are going to be, get any permissions that you need to, and then plan out your outfits as well. When we're approaching the outfits, one big thing is considering colors. What are your brand colors? Anytime that you can incorporate those, whether it's earrings or jewelry or your actual shirt color, you'll notice that a lot of times in my videos, I'm wearing some sort of shade of green or a neutral color because the Clemenco brand colors are pops of green, black, white, and gray. And so that just keeps that level of consistency. Also, that's just naturally what my closet is. So I think I've subconsciously picked all of my business colors to be things that I already love and already have in my closet. And sometimes it's just because something is warm that day. So I have like a hot pink shirt that I'll wear sometimes. But I wouldn't wear that hot pink shirt in brand photos, if you know what I'm saying. So pick out your outfits that might have pops of your brand colors in them, but most importantly, that you feel really comfortable in, that you feel powerful, you feel like this is the best version of myself. If you are uncomfortable, if you buy something that's maybe just a little bit too tight because you wanted to, you needed that physical gratification that society sometimes tells us that we need to get, that then in turn ends up just making us feel super uncomfortable because it's a little bit tighter on our waist than we wanted or we can't breathe. If we're feeling that way, it's going to really show up on camera, that we're uncomfortable or maybe like we can't put our shoulder down because of the way that a shirt's fitting or something like that. Make sure that you feel really good, not just physically, but mentally in the outfits too that you're picking. And have a couple different options because sometimes day of session, we just might not be feeling it. We might be really feeling, the red jumpsuit that we had in our backup stash. And now we've got it on hand and you get to wear that instead. Then also think about what your shot list is going to be, creating that. That is huge for making a session flow super smoothly. What we do is when a client of ours sets up a true professional session is we have a pre-session consultation with them and we talk through what the locations are going to be. And we already know ahead of time what kinds of shots are important to them. If it's laughing photos or looking straight into the camera or if they're going to need some motion. Those kinds of things. Now for you, you'll want to create a shot list for yourself. So photo of you looking at the camera, looking away, laughing. We see these on social media all the time. Like, yeah, but Kate, how is that authentic? Because oftentimes if we have a ton of photos of somebody just like staring at us beady into the camera every single time, that can be really intimidating. And like psychologically, other people who are potential clients that are viewing this like, ooh, like, that's really intense and I'm just gonna keep scrolling or go to the next person. But if we have photos that show us like laughing off camera or laughing looking down, that's really inviting and comforting. And we do those things naturally. People laugh, people tuck their hair, people are giggling. So that's not inauthentic to who you are, and it's very, very approachable for your potential client instead of them just like seeing your beady face on your feed the whole time, which your face is beautiful and deserves to be seen, and actually it should be seen. That encourages people to want to work with you, but we need a little bit of that variety. And then also further on your shot list, do you have a team that you work with? Do you have local vendors that you work with that you want to feature? Do you have products that you should feature? Things like flat lays. And what I mean by a flat lay is, those really pretty, sometimes stock photos that you see on Pinterest or that kind of thing, where oftentimes it's an above view on a clean white backdrop with the laptop perfectly arranged, with the coffee mug and the succulents and the pretty little paper clips and that kind of thing. Those are flat lays. And the reason that those are great, especially for social media or people that are doing launches, that just puts a little bit more diversity into your feed so that it's not always a human that we're seeing. It's other items that show that we're professionals. They relate to our business, of course. If you are, a local coffee roaster and you have a coffee shop, it wouldn't make sense for you to have a flat lay with like lots of different colored fabrics and necessarily really clean office supplies, because that doesn't really have anything to do with coffee and roasting coffee. But if you are a female entrepreneur who runs their own business, especially out of their home office, and you're trying to show that you can work with people remotely across the country, of course we're going to have a flat lay with your laptop and your phone, maybe a planner showing your schedule or the schedule that you're dreaming of, that kind of thing. So incorporating any flat lays. And they're also really great too for landing pages. If you have launches coming up, or a program or, freebies to download, that kind of thing. Being sure to include some flat lays on your shot list. And then finally, figure out who's going to help you take the photos, because if you're looking at this robust 4-hour half-day session, oftentimes we're just simply not able to accomplish that with a timer. So whether that's a teammate that you bring along and they just kind of snap photos with you, either, sometimes iPhone portrait mode can be great. I don't necessarily recommend it for a whole feed, just because it doesn't always give the depth, the contrast, and the color quality that are really going to stand out on social media. But if that's the stage that you're at, something is better than nothing. So I'm never going to, poo-poo that. Or if somebody has, a DSLR camera that they can bring along, or if you're actually like hiring a photographer, then coordinating that, figuring that out with them. And I will say that if you are working with a pro, the actual like planning of the session, you don't necessarily need to do that, because they're going to co-create that with you, and kind of take some of that stress and ease off of, or stress off your shoulders, so it's more easy. Then once you have the photos, if you're doing it yourself, be sure to edit the photos, tweak them, and put some sort of consistent filter on them, whether that's using like the Lightroom mobile app and creating a photo filter that goes on all of your photos so you have that consistency, or what your Instagram filter is that you do every time. Otherwise, if you are working with a professional photographer, oftentimes, at least what we do, is we edit the photos in the style that's the best fit for you, and then for all of your future sessions, that's how we edit them, so that you have that really consistent feed that's really visually appealing. As much as people say, like, the really curated feed doesn't matter, but psychologically, having a clean, consistent feed, it quiets the brain and it makes it something really relaxing and easy for our brains to process, so then our brains can actually see what the image is actually about, and then going to that next step of actually reading the content and then connecting with us. So when we have that consistency and our brain isn't going back and forth from really bright photo to really dark photo to, selfie that I took in the bathroom when I was like feeling myself and all in my boss ass outfit. When we have that consistency, our clients, potential clients go, okay, yeah, this feels really, really good. Then once you have all of your edited photos, you have that consistency, use them. That is the biggest, most important piece of how to create 90 days of social media images, is to use the images. So think ahead for yourself of, you already know where you want to be 1 year from now by now, and you know the messaging that you want to share. Then also look at, what launches do you have coming up? Do you have any programs coming out, or items that you want to enroll for that you're going to be talking about? And plan out how these photos will strategically help make that happen. We use Tailwind for all of our Instagram planning, and then we just schedule right in Facebook. We've used Planoly before too. We like both of them because you're able to see what your Instagram grid will look like. So you have that beautiful flow, that consistency. You can type in the captions, schedule them, so that you don't have to even worry about having them go out. It just happens, and then you're showing up consistently online. Consistency is key, my friends, because when you show up for yourself, clients are going to show up in your life, and followers are going to show up. And just frankly, that's better for the algorithms, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, they're there for a reason, but having that consistency helps us show up more frequently in the algorithms. So to recap, how to create 90 days of impactful, authentic, useful, wonderful 90 days of social media images in 4 hours. First, start with, where do you want to be 1 year from today? And I will link to that visual strategy worksheet for you. Next, look at what messaging is going to be authentic to, that's going to resonate with my ideal clients. What makes me, me, and what makes my business unique. And when you're looking at that, I will link to, also free, our content grid so that you have that point to reference. Once you know those unique pieces about you, then structure your photo session. And you'll be able to know if you should feature your dog, if you should feature your family, if you should be in a coffee shop. Pick your locations, pick your outfits that make you feel really great. Create your shot list, whether that's photos of just you because you know that you need an updated website headshot, and photos of your team, photos of you in action, those flat lays, that kind of thing. And then enroll the person that's going to help you take the photos. Again, if you have a professional taking them for you, kind of flip-flop those steps, because the professional will then help you plan the session, take care of that for you. Then finally, if you're doing it yourself, edit those photos, tweak them, and have a consistent filter or, filter, I guess is the word, a consistent filter that you get to use on them so that you have that consistency across all of your feeds. And then finally, schedule and use your photos. You deserve to be seen in the world. What you have to say matters. And even if there is somebody else out there that is, if there's another, of course there are other brand photographers out there. I'm not naive in thinking that I am the only brand photographer that exists in the world. But I know that the way that I approach the brand photography process, the way that I speak, the way that I show up, that's unique to me. And that's going to attract the people that are meant to work with me, and it's going to repel the people that are going to be better served somewhere else. So show up for yourself, be there. You have such a light and a gift about you that there are people out there that need to hear your message, that need to work with you, and it's truly going to change their life. I promise you. Show up, make it happen. And feel free to send me a message or comment on what kind of comes up for you when you think about the next 90 days and how you want to show up on social media. I'll be sure to link to the 2 tools that I mentioned for you in the comments. Otherwise, if you have any questions or thoughts, comment below, or you can email me. My personal email is kate@clemandco.com. All right, guys, have an awesome day, and I will talk to you soon.